directly include.
We are rolling
Any of the following topics.
Yeah, that usually does the trick. Alrighty. Anybody test MoveBot yet today?
Why would you test MoveBot? You mean Grimy Trader? There.
30 seconds, folks. Making the transition. Quiet on the set, please.
I'm gonna have to rename.
It was working. Oh, you broke it.
Yes, I did.
One moment, please.
Kick the Grimy Trader and bring him back.
You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Virginia. And no other better freaking place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are.
One moment, please.
No other than the dynamic duo, Laz and Jack.
And greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
This is Jack. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack, where Laz technical difficulties makes an appearance.
Hey, I don't know what's going on there. All the other sound effects are working.
Did you rename the intro in your file? Are you sure about that?
I'm absolutely sure about that. I just got booted. I don't know what the heck happened there.
What did you change recently?
I haven't touched a thing.
Okay, go check that folder. Look for it.
Touched
Look
your
for
thing.
it. Yes.
Look for it. It's OG intro. That's what it is.
Play the file
did we do
locally
it?
and see what it says.
Anyway, moving right along. Welcome to today's show, everybody. It is Friday. It is August 19th, 2016 here inside Shroud of the Avatar. And we have the weekend update on hand for you, as well as a whole bunch of other interesting topics. Some hot news out there yesterday, as well the upcoming telethon of the Avatars. Some telethon part 2 happening this Monday, so we've got all sorts of great stuff here to talk about as well. And why don't I hear anybody?
Well, because no one's talking.
I'm not talking, man. What's up?
It's
Hey,
Friday,
all right,
man.
dude,
You
all
guys know. Yeah.
How's that, man? Tell you, man.
It's like all of a sudden I got crickets out here. I got nothing.
I touch myself.
Siderius, that's supposed to be rabble.
Rabble. Alrighty, so how's everybody doing on this Friday? We had a good night last night hanging out at the Pearl down in Black Rock Cove, hanging out with Nurse Justin and the crew. All sorts of people showed up throughout the evening, coming and going, joining the party. Even Seafley has stopped and asked if he could take some video.
Yeah.
And go ahead and I don't know what he's going to use it for. Maybe he'll be using it in the submissions contest that we have open right now, and that'll be announced also on Monday, the winner of the contest. So you still have some time. But speaking of time, Jack, are we ready for it?
No, we're never ready for
We're
anything
never
around
ready for
here. What are you
anything.
talking about? We have a grand total of 3 days, 11 hours, 54 minutes,
37,
38, 36,
35,
34,
33,
32.
30. Clocks.
You sk-
3 days for the countdown to final expirations, and that means once they're gone, they're gone. I think this crazy buyer's market's going to dry up here real quick, the advent of the expiration of these pledges, because once they're no longer available in the store, I think that's going to, the turnaround's going to happen.
The market for that is, people are going to start increasing those prices. People are going to start realizing, oh shit, I fucked up.
Wow.
And
now, we've seen
and
plenty
start
of
trying to get on that
advertisements
train.
out there, people just walking on in here after final wipe and going, hey,
what all did I miss?
I want to buy one of everything. And I mean, I've seen a couple of them out there, and it's like, okay, if you got that kind of scratch to be thrown around where you don't mind paying premium prices coming in at the end of all this and just making a blatant announcement like that, more power to you. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah, so there is lots going on. I mean, it's
Oh, man.
when we're
I tell you what.
don't forget that if you do one of the pledges right now, it is not going to come with an actual house. It will come with the lot deed,
That's
the
right.
pledge title, the bank slots, and a few other
Everything
things.
else.
But it won't be the same as when Laz or myself or everybody else, almost everybody else on the channel. This is for the new people watching.
Yeah, let me just go over to
and
housing.
they're-
Actually, let me just
yeah, they're-
filter homes. Let's see what I got in my inventory.
Well, I don't have everything in my inventory. Hey, Shade made it. And,
Oh,
oh yeah,
Shade
you also don't
made
get a
it way
basement
here?
either. She found Al's head finally.
Oh, she's been here before. But just,
Oh.
to give you an idea of what kind of perks and rewards were going on out there back when we pledged, there was a whole bunch of houses that were available out there for certain pledges. And here you'll see a list of what I've got on my account that is not used yet. And yes, there are one or two in there that are either rewards or I have bought, like the Airship City Home. Yes, I actually bought one of those things.
Just one.
Just one. As I'm tempted on the Star Citizen one, but I'm not sure yet. As might be able to trade this one for a Star Citizen, though.
Probably not. Just because if you look in the add-on store, that
Hello.
airship.
Hello,
His-
I sell this one. I buy the Star Citizen. I trade it. Thank you.
Hey, I
do
know.
I have to get that specific with you?
Post that. Yeah, we're gonna have lots of problems today.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I think it's gonna be everybody.
Well, we got that same problem here because that kind of questioning comes into play on one of today's major topics. Now, of course, we have stand-up corner from yesterday. We actually have stand-up corner from today as well. No, that's not today. Sorry, wrong thing.
Today's Friday. Not
Yeah, well,
Thursday.
I was
Where
looking
you
at the loaded page,
Wrong
and it
page?
said Friday up top. I'm sorry. So, anyway, we have stand-up from yesterday. We've got some new updates for naming and cheating exploitation policy update yet again out there, and there's some interesting questions posed by the public out there.
Well, I am working on my reply, just because. You know what? Yep. Yeah. Yep.
I'm pretty damn famous these days. I mean, do I need to change my name?
Now, isn't Ezekiel a biblical name? I mean, isn't that a famous name?
Yeah, he's a famous dude, man.
I
Yeah,
think that's almost
prophets.
as famous as Lazarus is in biblical senses.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're going to force us to change our names because we have,
Nah, better not.
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah, you know,
anyway,
because
they
Ezekiel is
touch
also-
on that in here, and we'll be covering that shortly. But let's get right to the normal part of today's show. Of course, we have the stand-up corner, what the developers were working on.
Yes, this is what our devs were
yesterday.
working on yesterday, Thursday, August 18th. Remember, today is Friday, August 19th, out in the real world.
That
In
is
game,
correct.
it is currently Friday, October 6th, autumn of 494 PC, and it's a late night waxing gibbous moon, clear with heavy winds.
And your
Our
extended
department-
Thank you.
forecast here in Shrouded Avatar calls for rain. Lots of rain
call for-
in the forecast.
Yes. Lots of rain in the forecast, and I predict about 3-4 days from now. Game days. Yeah, so over on
Sun coming out
over in our
tomorrow.
department, we had Bob working on the
Bob.
elven wardrobes and elven architecture. Matt, our very own Gix Vargach, was working on the accordion and shoo, get away, Led Zepp.
Shoo,
Get away,
shoo,
Led
Get
Zepp.
away, Led Zepp. Go away.
Yes.
She's got too many
Then-
flies.
That's right. Reed was working on the guard levels of details and bugs,
Bug.
and burned home collision and wearable levels of details. Scotty was working on icons.
Icons. Scotty's working on issues.
Icons. Yes. Over in design, Brandon was working on creature loot update and rusty weapons.
Ooh, rusty weapons.
I know. Dan was working on Ardor's NPC emotes and schedules and player town form support and bugs.
Bug. Yeah,
Finn
this rusty
was
weapon
working
should give you
on-
infections.
That's right. Finn
got a
was,
rusty
and
weapon.
you must get your tetanus shot.
Ain't been used since 1946.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Finn was working on combat audio support. Fire Lotus was working on Release 33 quests and romance dialogue. Then Keith was working on port graph NPCs and schedules and discoveries and bugs.
Bug.
Sorcerer Steve was porting graph with Keith and building decoration and update support. Then over in tech we had Wizard Smoke working on
Thanks.
let them eat cake with my royal scepter, because the royal scepter may or may not be working eventually.
Yes, the Royal Scepter. Very interesting.
And then they still need to work on the orb so that for the 50% off.
I got a royal scepter.
I believe
all
that works
polished
in
daily.
production, but
It's a nice
anyway,
one too. Very
moving
nice.
right along. Let's not get this train derailed so early.
Okay. One and only the Deathbringer was working on combat updates and bugs.
Bug.
Burning Toad was working on the QA Buildmaster and item upgrades. Tassilo was working on expiration event code and web updates and player town forum support. Over in QA, Reese was working on sanity testing and Unity upgrades, testing and regression and forums. Serafina is working customer service and backer support and forums. Then our production management and other, we have Chris Dippy Bird working on performance and IT and posters. Gorn still working on his Zardoz
Zardoz.
bikini.
What was that quote?
Gun is good, penis is evil.
That's right.
He's working on general business
General
and
business.
add-on clothing preparation. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, scroll back a little bit in Discord chat and look at the Zardoz trailer that I
Join
put
us
in
in
there
Discord.
before
Funny
the show.
shit.
That's right. Then Barrick was working on social feeds and Hangout Telethon planning and a ban policy.
I ban
Then-
thee. Can we
I
get that
ban
in game?
thee.
Can we get that in game, please?
Cast out.
When they're being
Yes.
an ass, I can
I
stand
banned
up and just proudly announce I ban thee.
And then it turns to a targeting cursor, and you get to click on that person, and poof, they go. Then Chaos is working on Player Town Forum bugs and emote. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. And emotes audit and release 33
You did
offers.
that yesterday too. You know?
And Darkstar. Sorry, you're not fast enough. There was a very, very, very brief pregnant pause in there.
Very
I
brief.
think the very, very brief. Darkstar was working on release 33 posts and forums and customer service direction and release 33 offers. And that is what our devs said that they were working on yesterday. We do not have what they're working on today, so we can't really talk about that.
And thank you, Hawkwind Soda, for that follow there right before we transitioned in to the stand-up corner. We appreciate it. As always, we appreciate
transition
you guys out there.
Yes.
And yes, for those of you, again, we invite you, the public, to come join us. But as well, half the fun and games is going on in Discord chat. As we're going through today, the guys are posting all sorts of funny memes, pictures, links, and of course, all sorts of chatter that can't be seen on screen. That can be quite humorous at times. So if you want to be in on a lot of the jokes and all that fun stuff.
Sometimes even more appropriate,
Yes,
more
and,
adult than
and what do they call it? NSFW material is not suitable for the workplace. So we can't show you that on screen for those of you who are listening from your workplaces. We try and keep it pretty clean around the lunch hour for you. But of course, remember that NBNN and WRFB Radio Free Britannia does contain mature content for you folks out there. So viewer discretion advised.
Now, should we call it mature content or immature content?
I think we should
A little
call
bit of
it
both.
immature
Yeah.
content.
Okay.
Yes.
Extra.
And you know what? That there you go. A new radio liner was born, and I can see. Yeah,
It's the only hour of the day that I don't have to be responsible.
I can see Justin
That's
rolling
right.
her eyes over at her desk over there. Stella. Welcome,
You're a little late.
Stella Moon.
The
No,
notes.
I know. It's, pregnant puss. Pregnant puss.
Pregnant pause, yeah.
It's,
Pause. Pause.
Beautiful little female.
that's right.
Yeah,
but
so
absolutely
half
immature
the conversations
content.
actually happen in Discord. Go to discord.me/NBNN for the quickest way to get there. Or you can always go to nbnn.info, click on the connect button beside,
Right below our video stream.
yes, squirrel,
Squirrel.
Word evolution.
Sheep.
Click on the connect button. Squirrel.
I can see the
saw boobs.
messages. Damn, Laz. We did liners last night. Do we have to do more?
Like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
That's right. Where was I? Join us in Discord. Just go to nbnn.info, click on the connect button, use your in-game name or the name you want us to refer to you by, and then join us in channel. We generally hang out in the green room because we're too damn lazy to move anywhere else.
Move to the live
Unless we're
on
having a
air
private
room. That's right.
Yeah. Unlike last night where we were in the WRFB party room.
Party rocking
God.
in the house.
Yes.
God, was it ever?
Yes.
I tell you what,
It was a great party last night.
Justin had a couple problems out there, a couple technical difficulties. Of course, she lost power in mid-set, but that didn't stop the party from going on. Her evil
Eclipse Maiden
twin
did.
hopped in to
Yes.
save the day and took over pretty seamlessly. And then, of course, once the power came back on, she came back and it did an extended hour. Is that 1-0? That's got to be 1-0. How did I know that was 1-0? So
And I got a text. I got a text this morning because I invited a VIP to the party last night. I got a text this morning saying sorry they couldn't make it. But if he would have been there, we'd all got Starleton dances, no
I
doubt.
tell you what, You know, I don't know if I got the Starlton yet. I don't think so. But,
Yeah, it's out. You just
I know
gotta
it's out.
contact the right guy.
Yeah,
you gotta,
and,
you gotta
I
get
just-
it directly from Darkstar.
I forgot that, when I hand out dances, I don't even look for that one because I don't do it. But, moving right along. Yes, we'll be down at the Pearl next Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, New Britannia Time. Unmedicated Schizophrenia Part 2 with Nurse Justin and the crowd down in Black Rock Cove. So we'll be telling you all about that next week when calendar time runs around. But right now, we've got all sorts of great stuff to cover for your weekend update. We got some new policy procedures out there, and again, this is out there for the way we like to interpret the news. This is a CYA, a blanket coverall for the folks down there that allows them to make removals and stuff at discretion. And we ready to bring that up? This was posted by Beric in the community forums last night. Naming and cheating, exploiting policy updates. I don't know why I keep losing my mic in my ear today. Just one of those weird things.
Yeah, I'm working on my response to that.
Yes,
so
you were talking
if I'm
about
really
that.
scrolling, I really am actually typing a reply to it saying it's really going to be unenforceable.
Well, again, that's why I said, as we interpret it, it is a blanket CYA. We have spoken to the folks down there, and we've gone over. This was one of the main reasons for going down last October, aside from our convention, was to sit down and discuss things like the commodities market and the trading market and how things like this were going to be run. And we were able to sit down and give our input in person as to all this stuff and how this was going to be running. Time is money. Enforcement of policies, how they're going to enforce policies, what they're going to allow, what they're going to disallow. And we went to ask those questions live in person for our own curiosity because we needed to know this stuff. And again, Duke, you were there. Jack, you were there during the convention. The convention, it's actually on
Yes.
YouTube. You can catch the whole 3-hour video on the NBNN site out there. We recorded the whole thing for you guys to see what we went down to discuss. And a lot of this stuff is, for them, just to make sure that they've got all their legal aspects covered if they need to ever use at their disposal. But there's a lot of this stuff that they've told us, and they've said to the community, we don't plan to enforce this unless you break the cardinal rule. And everybody, what's the cardinal rule here in Shroud Avatar? All together now.
D-bad.
D-bad. That's right. Don't break the cardinal rule in Shroud Avatar. Don't be a dick. Hashtag D-bad. Put it out there. Spread the word, folks. If you're going to be here in this community, we love this community, and they're a great lot. You're going to meet all sorts of friendly folks willing to help you out. People who just, all sorts of great role players, all sorts of characters out there in the world. And it's an enjoyable experience all around, even though we're not fully released. But you break the cardinal rule, and the community does not take kindly to that. So, of course, we see this as their way of saying, okay, now we've done final wipe. We're working on polish. We're working on getting finalization. We're working on storylines. We're working on all these things that were promised to get to this release point. And while we're doing that, policy tweaks, modifications, streamlining. What's the one that we're waiting for is, like load times, fixing all that stuff and... what's the word I'm looking for? Optimizations, exactly. Then they're going to start working on all that stuff to make things faster, smoother, prettier, functional, and enjoyable. And I noticed something that's going to make a lot of people happy coming out. And I noticed some things that are going to be making a lot of people miserable, but that's something for later on. They're going to talk about all this stuff Monday, I'm sure. And it's going to be fun. Speaking of Monday, we have the telethon of the Avatar happening out here. And they're going to be doing that starting at noon Central Standard Time, which is New Britannia time for all you folks. And I don't have the right tab there. Give me a second to get to that sucker.
And Laz is going to show up on the stream at some point in time.
Well, that's what I was going to tell the good folks, is keep an eye out there. I believe our own Jack Synesist is going to be making an appearance down at the offices during
I don't know what you're
the
talking about.
Hospitaller Hour. As some other surprise guests are going to be down there. There's going to be 2 Hospitaller Hours, or 2 community-centric hours, and I'm looking for the schedule here, so just give me a second. Give me 1 second. Summer Telethon. There we go. Read more. Read more. Let me get this together. I know.
Nah, it's been over a second, man. Let's move along.
I know. I'm surprised Led Zepp's not screaming there, but here we go. Up on screen for you good folks is the schedule for the Summer Telethon. Noon, welcome to the Summer Telethon. Greetings and salutations to all the good folks out there. 12:30 p.m., the Community Trailer Contest winners announced. 1 p.m., R32 Postmortem QA continues. 2 p.m., the studio tour, the Dev Rampage. 3 p.m. hour, that's Community Hour number 1, Getting Involved. We'll be making appearances there and talking about Hospitallers program, all sorts of community involvement, things that you can do to help and just get involved with the community. 4 p.m. Story and NPC Deep Dive. Going deep, folks. Those are always fun.
5 o'clock, we
Go
have
ahead.
Spite and Portgraph uncloning process, so it will no longer uncloning. Then at 6 o'clock, we have the player housing deep dive. Maybe we'll hear about the lottery system. Lottery system, maybe? Lottery system discussion? Maybe. That way I can write my next article on how
I
much
might
hate
know
lotteries.
something about that.
Yeah.
But I might
Community Hour 2 is going to be contributors,
That's right.
which is thanks to all those people that have been doing a great job for the community and doing what they've been doing
That's
for the
right.
last.
And there'll be some continuation and meshing of the 2 hours,
Yes.
as I'm understanding. I've got to reply to that thread. But
yeah.
a lot of good stuff, community related there. And of course, again, finish that off for us, for the listeners.
8 o'clock, we do have the crafting deep dive. At 9 p.m., the combat deep dive.
Going even deeper.
Plunging that sword
into
way
war.
in there.
All 4 inches of it.
That's right. At 10 p.m., we do have the adventure tour and Ask Me Anything.
And that'll go on for the next 2 hours.
2
Ask Me.
hours, yes.
2 hours.
So which means that more than likely, since they're probably going to be slightly intoxicated, they're going to go out and kill everybody that they can.
Damn.
It's like, kill everybody.
Works for me.
Yeah, so Lord British might be killing everybody and showing how virtuous he really is. Old Darkstar shall be upping everything so that way he is unkillable, and Lord British will probably die a couple times.
20 papers, that's $2 plus tip.
Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just a tip.
All
Yes,
right.
and that is what that schedule, but the fun stuff is going to be the conversations. Really, I'm looking forward to that player housing deep dive, just because I want to know what they have to say about that.
Now, while I soapbox that other topic, you want to jump back to that and actually cover that for the folks?
Well, I had it on screen
Yeah,
for
so
like
did I.
half an hour
I know.
and waiting for you to get to it.
I
and
derailed the
you
train
didn't get
on that one. I apologize.
Yeah,
What about
you,
the
you
names?
took that one so
Yeah,
far off.
the naming and
Yes.
banning, yes. There's a lot of information
Yeah,
out
yeah.
here. This came out yesterday, and
Okay.
we sort of derailed the train on this, and the folks need to hear and see this this information. So let's get back to this, get back on track for
Naming
Friday.
policy. All display names, both account and characters. Name restrictions apply to both in-game forums and chat areas that are under moderation by Portalarium. All names must be within the spirit of the game world and must not suggest or directly include any of the following topics: advertisements, religious ideologies, famous persons, pornographic sexual references, Portalarium staff, racial slurs, illegal activities, threats and real-world violence, and pledge titles.
Now, I know
Now,
several
I have a-
people
I
who
have
have names of Portalarium staff or variants thereof. I know.
Well,
we know there's a Duke
Dark Star.
Nukem and there's a Duke Pledge title.
Chart star.
Oh,
Yeah.
Um,
And well, if you're naming your character after the Duke, you know you're naming your character after John Wayne. I mean, that's still an eponym. It's this is really becomes a silly policy.
well, we're gonna
The
see
difference-
how silly it
legalese here.
gets, because we're gonna scroll
Yeah.
down here in a minute. But let's go ahead and finish up with this because there's more
If
content.
your name is identified as being in violation of the policy, we'll take the following steps. If online, contact you via PM and ask for an immediate name alternative. If offline, immediately change your name to a neutral name until we can reach you. Email you and ask for 3 name alternatives in case some are not available. We may mark your account with an official warning point if names are obviously derogatory and shouldn't have been selected in any possible context of gameplay, such as "I hate you."
What?
Exceptions for famous persons places may be made for obvious ambiguities that can apply in a number of neutral world scenarios, such as Amazon.
Such as Lazarus, such as Ezekiel.
Oh.
Okay, well,
I
what
know.
about my what about my character Harold Cox?
What?
What about my character Harold Cox? I named him Harry for short.
There you
Yeah,
go.
well, you know,
Zeke Hardcock, is that his name?
This
No,
this
no.
is one where I
Harry
was working on. I was working
Hey,
on
I'm
my
Harry
response
Boyle,
saying
what
that
can I tell you?
this
I was
this
gonna name my first son Lance. But,
Harry Boyle, is that your name?
exactly. This is one where I was actually working on typing up my reply, including links to different articles. And let me pull up the article I'm looking at right now.
Cheers, Harry Boyle.
So I'm working on a Daily Mail article. Who would call their child Eureka? The worst baby names in the world, including Lucifer, I'm Unique, and Orgasm. I guess I should give you a link to this
yeah,
one.
this would help.
Oh,
so
my,
we
oh,
could,
my.
Share this with the good folks
And
out
this
there.
this is real people that have named their real children these things. I mean, that includes so let's see, hold on. You have Orgasm, you have Amazing, because it was amazing when the child was born. You have a girl by the name of Jenna Tiles. Genitals?
Where is this link?
That,
Come on,
that
give
ain't
me
right,
this.
man. They do that to the kids, man.
Answer no. We do not want to.
Yes.
Go to the
Here's
So
here's a
it's like-
family here's a
Answer
family
no.
secret. My brother named his daughter Maria Joanna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one where you know what, it's like people will name these things, and that doesn't that's not even limited to this.
Yeah, what if it's your
If you actually look at our pick of the best, Obamaniqua, I'm Unique, Boy, Hellzell, Abstinence, Britney, Shakira, Beyonce, Vajonica, Gentiles, Amazing, like, and it's like there are
Vajonica.
people that have named themselves Google, Coke, anything that is yeah.
Nice parents there.
I tell you, I'd rather be
Well,
named
it's-
Sue.
boy named Sid. Yep.
I mean,
Oh, shit.
think of the most famous Chicago Bear of all time. What's his name?
William Perry? Nah.
No. Who is the coach?
Oh,
Yeah.
Pickett.
Butt Kiss?
Sid
Butkus.
Butkus.
Oh, okay,
Sid
all right.
Butkus.
Right,
Yeah,
there you go.
that ain't right either.
There is one, and we're saying no to the instances closing. There
already said
is
that.
all kinds of people that will name their kids all kinds of different things, and it's one where when you're going to start limiting this stuff, and when you start saying, you know what, you can't name your character in advertisement. It's like, what if it's my legal name?
Absolutely.
I have DBAs.
Absolutely.
I have multiple DBAs, and so that is actually my legal name.
Guess they'll bring you
Now,
up on the board, huh?
In
Bring you up
in-game
on the board.
conduct, I want to
Yeah.
cover this as well because we had a little chit chat yesterday, and I want to bring that up as well.
What about religious ideologies?
Well, again,
I mean,
let's go on down the list.
Jeebus.
Well,
Yeah.
that was advertisements.
Yeah, cheats and exploits, of course, we understand.
Okay. Yeah.
And, as per the, what is this? The CR&G? Community rules and what?
And
Guidelines?
Community rules and guidelines. Code of
Displaying
conduct.
pornography. What is displaying pornography? Is that dancing, gyrating like we were on the floor, on the dance floor?
I can
last
see
night?
you're really upset about this.
Violent personal threats. I'm gonna kill you. This is a game. We have player versus
that you
player.
kill people,
So,
yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
I'm going to cut your head off.
I'm gonna cut your head off and eat it and make stone
Oh,
soup
shit.
out of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real live threats.
But
I
that's
understand
not-
that.
But that's non-violent shit now.
Yeah.
No.
Right, but then
It's in
real
the
life
spirit
threats.
of the
I
game
dig
world.
real
Spirit of
life
the game
threats.
world. Read the.
Yeah.
Threats of legal
Real life
action.
threats.
I'm sorry. We have a legal system here in the game, don't we? If I
Where's
want
my
to bring
contract?
somebody in
I want my
charges
contract.
and bring legal action against
Give me
them
the
in game,
contract.
don't we have a whole law system in the BMC?
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
Yes, we
so
do.
I can
And
threaten legal
so,
action
yeah.
via the BMC. I find that hard to enforce. It's just, now, I understand where they're going with this, but that, you want to talk gameplay, immersion, this and that. It's a fine line they're going to have to walk to enforce things like that. And again, we call this a blanket CYA. Of course, they go ahead into the moderation process, but now we get into these questions down there, like how about Lady British with 2 H's?
I saw that.
Well,
Yeah.
we know who Lady
yeah.
British is. Lady British
That's
made
right.
her first ever online in-game, any game in the world appearance here in
First time she
Shroud
ever
and
played
Avatar.
At a BMC wedding.
computer
That's
game.
right, at the Murphy Beauchamp wedding, which I was happily the minister of, and I ordained the two with Lord British's blessing. Lord British gave away the bride, and his lovely wife, Lady British, accompanied him to the wedding
right.
for a first video game. So that could be something that's enforceable.
I
I
saw
love the
2
one
H's
underneath
running
this.
around yesterday.
Accusations of malfeasance against the developers. Do we want to nitpick that one, or we just want to leave that?
Yeah,
one?
we should.
Get my lawyer, man. What
If there's if there's something where
Lay off the peyote.
the problem is, it's like for one, it's like
Yeah, thank you, Blood.
people just like saying that the developers are just scamming people. They really need to. Anybody that's been
Find
playing
another
this game since the early releases has seen the amount of development that has taken place.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Then from there, it's one where it's like, that's one where it's like, yeah, maybe they do need to get a little bit thicker of a skin and sit there and say, okay, this is what the
Suck
game
it
looked
up,
like
cupcake.
2 years ago. Link to a YouTube video. This is what it looks like today.
Right.
Oh yeah,
And
I can do that.
then from there, it's
But-
like, yeah, you know what? It's like we have been working on developing a game.
A game.
And if you're,
Right.
Yes.
yeah, so it's one where it's like, yeah,
And-
you know what?
and
They
for
need a
the
little
guy-
bit of a thicker skin for that.
And for the guys that have been around since the beginning, I mean, you haven't those guys that are raising so much hell about the developers, I mean, you guys should have been around in the beginning and seen how much the developers have bent. I mean, these guys have really went above and beyond to try to custom make a game for the general public based on the popular demand. I mean, these guys are phenomenal.
Now, yeah, absolutely. But I want to jump down here real quick to Beric's commentary, because Beric throws in a couple good comments down here. One I don't quite disagree with, but I understand where they're going. And you, as somebody who is out here reporting the news and has got a major face in the in this game, people recognize us and they say, all right, we listen to what you guys say, but I just want to comment on that the freedom of speech note there. Freedom of speech also doesn't allow you to do anything you want either without consequence. Same concept.
That's right. You can do it. You can do it, but you might get your ass smacked for it.
So while we do stand up for freedom of speech, and I think there's a fine line there, and I do believe that, again, blanket coverall, but don't be a dick. We are all for freedom of speech. We are all for making content available, and we're going to get to that in just a second. You're going to get the next couple of comments. You get one free character name change. After that, it's a service charge through customer support if you have that kind of problem. Now, of course, I don't understand how you would have that problem if you got the free name change for a bad name to begin with. Portalarian folks are going to be changing your name, so they can't, apparently that's going to open the door to name changes if you're going to just tell people they can pay to have their name changed. And we get into Duke Olahorand. How do you pronounce this?
Olahorand.
Yeah, thank you.
Olahorand.
But anyway,
where he's asking about
according to the rules and terms, he can't use Duke in front of his name because it's a game.
And so,
but
that's been around.
Understandable. And here Barrick replies,
Duke,
"That's fine, as long as it's not just a Duke." Which we already have, and they're going to have to talk about that.
That's been around since Moby Dick was a minnow, though. We had a guy in the BMC's, Sir Dan's. He had to change his name.
Yeah, and of course, the last comment from him is, "We're not that crazy in cracking down on names, so just be aware of that. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Be polite. I mean, we're all loving some of the fames we see out and the plays on words that the community's been able to get away with, and some of it's hysterical, and we love it.
You should have seen some of the names that came out of the hatch when we first got online.
Hey, listen, sucks to be you. We've been here since the beginning with KC Cupcakes. Sucks to be you is not an offensive name, in my opinion, or anybody else's that we've spoken to, but it is offensive to the folks at Portalarian.
Someone reported it because it goes against the spirit of the game. I'm sorry to say.
I want to bring up real quick, and we only have about 2-3 minutes to cover this topic. Last night we were hanging out, having the party, and Duke Ezekiel Cooper chatted something out in Noble's chat about our party going on, and he got a reply. So Duke, real quick. The reply came from Violation. I'm not going to pull any punches here. We know Violation. Violation's another respected member.
Well, it was over the filter, Well, I said shit,
and that's exactly on my point on freedom of speech.
I said shit, and he came back talking about that.
He said more than shit, but he says my spam filter went off. You're not allowed to do that here in chat. And I said,
I changed it to fecal matter. I said the fecal matter is off the hook out here.
And of course, I chimed in with the feces has hit the rotary oscillator, and let them all know. But my understanding of the filter, and if we want to make this public, as stated last night, if they want to take that public and do this, my understanding of the profanity filter is if you don't want to see it, you don't want your children to see it, the filter is there to filter profanity. It's not there so you can report people for using profanity.
That's right.
That's my understanding of this. Anybody else in this room understand it any different? Please chime in.
I don't. I mean, as far as I can tell, it's a 17 plus mature rating on the game. I mean, it's going to get
Absolutely.
that if they submit.
But
I mean, I don't know of any MMO that came back a 13.
we got a
plus
handful
or,
of people in this room. I want some feedback. People? Anybody? Come on. I got 20
What's
people
it there
in here.
for?
So
What's the filter there for then?
It's there so you don't get offended by other people.
That's
saying
right.
shit.
Turn it on.
And it is actually on by default.
That's
So
right.
in order to
Turn it
actually
off.
see that, you have to explicitly uncheck it. So
Freaking
so
weirdo. What are you doing?
All right, now we
Complain
got
about it.
Gillian chiming in and saying first thing he does is turn off that filter. Sedarius says he didn't even know there was a filter. Scroda says F that shit. Absolutely. That's why the filter's there. It's not there so that if you don't like it, you can report people. It's there so if you don't like it, you don't have to see it. And if you don't want your children seeing it, you turn on the filter. Otherwise, as far as we understand it, I can be as profane as I want as long as I'm not offensive.
Well, the funny part about like profanity
Or directing it towards someone.
And it is really funny because our definition of words that are profane has actually changed over the last 50 years substantially.
Absolutely.
It's one where it's
just
like
watch some TV, you'll figure it out.
Thank you very much.
Every
Look
single
here,
night
guys.
Ass is just not referring to an animal anymore. Piece of ass is a perfectly acceptable term on daytime television as well as nighttime television.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something,
How many
guys.
times do you hear people saying bitch?
And a plethora
Bitch,
of other.
We got an Italian in the guild that can have a whole conversation with you, cuss you up one side of the wall and down the other, and you won't even know it.
And you'll thank him very much and shake him hand and send him on his way. That's right.
That's right.
That's right, Katrina.
do.
That's why
We
NFG
are-
song was played. Yes, we're going to be a little tamed here today because we don't want to abuse that either. But that's right. But we'll let that to be just seen on screen for everybody. But yes, and we do use the F word here on the station as well.
I don't know what you're talking about. I only use proper English.
Back, proper English. Back when we started,
That's
I
right.
think every other word was the F-bomb just because.
Fuck.
It's like fuck it. Now, of course, I'm gonna go out on the ledge. Our med student, our own Eclipse Maiden, chimed in on that, and she says, "Well, I spoke to blah blah and a linguist or whoever it was she spoke to, and it's just the word fuck is not offensive. Fuck you is offensive." So yeah, we're gonna just put it out there for everybody. Yes, so for those of you who don't know the origins of the word comes from police reports, otherwise known as forceful, unlawful, carnal knowledge.
I don't think so.
No, you can look that up. That's true.
I think it's something else. All right. Whatever.
And it came into
I
play
think
back
you're-
years ago when women were
are-
reporting rape. That was how they used to describe it. And basically, they were fucked. Forceful, unlawful, carnal knowledge, and that's how the term came into
Back
existence.
further than that.
So now the term
nope.
"you're fucked" means something totally different. It's like you're stuck
Yeah,
down
it
a
means-
rise and you don't have a ride out of there. You're
Yeah.
fucked. I'm sorry. The way you use it, and whether it's offensive or not, is open to interpretation, and I do believe that. And we'll stand on the freedom of speech one there. If I'm verbally abusing somebody in game like Jack or Zeke, and I'm using those as examples. I run into a player,
There's a
insult
great way
him,
to do that.
who is
Slash
being
ignore.
annoying, and I don't like him, and I berate him, and I use every cuss in the book. Sure, that's bannable. That's offensive. But we're having, hey, wait, man, we were down there, man, and those goddamn skeletons fucked us up all night long last night. That's not offensive these days. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, unless you're a skeleton.
Well, yeah, unless you're a skeleton, in which case,
If you're a skeleton, then you might be fucked.
then the skeleton's fucked. That's right, absolutely. So
We do
meanwhile,
have 10
we do
minutes
have
left. We do have
get
a
to
calendar.
the calendar. I know. I said 2 or 3 minutes, but yeah,
That was weird.
we had to go off and a little tangent and prove the point, just to give some examples out there. Now, again, we do not suggest you out there and try and push these boundaries by any means.
You forgot the Austrian city of fucking.
Yes. Well, let's go
But
ahead
moving
and
right
get
along, we
this
do have
calendar up on
we
screen
do have
for
a
you folks.
community calendar. Community calendar is provided by Avatar Circle, which is currently administered by Wrath Phoenix on the forums or in Discord, or Kaizen Phoenix Fire in game. Since it is the weekend calendar, I did remove several events, and that's all under the Ether Vision Alliance, so we can actually get through it in time. Today is Friday, August 19th. Today at noon, 3, 6, 9, and 12, unless certain divas take over the airwaves
Yeah, you
on
gotta
Radio
watch
Free
those
Britannia,
divas.
you will be able to listen to Lunch with Laz and Jack. Then at 7, and Holly forgot it's also a type of willow. At
That's right.
7, we do have we do have a variety of PvE and PvP, all depending on what you're looking for.
That's right.
Pushing the envelope.
At 7 o'clock on if you can always join. See, you're late on that.
I saw Zep typing, and I thought he had it.
I left
That was-
pause in there for it. Okay, so if you're interested in PvE, you can join the Phoenix Republic for PvE nights, and that's going to be contact
penis
Kaizen.
offensive? I don't know. I'll have to ask Star.
I don't know.
Come on, let's do the calendar
Yeah.
already.
Yeah. Phoenix Republic PvE nights. Contact Kaizen Phoenix Fire or Malakis for more information. They're going somewhere. If you're interested in some open world PvP, or actually it's not open world. It is going to be an open PvP event. Are you going to do it again?
Nope.
Open?
Okay. Open, which means you go to this town of
And you want
vengeance
us
and
to
just
rush.
kill everybody. Yeah, just kill everybody.
That's right.
And then at the end of
I'm
the
offended.
time,
I'm
for
offended.
whoever has the most kills,
Seeker
they
offended.
win. If you're afraid to kill anything and you really are just there for the role playing, you can join Bow and Bloodgood for Friday Night Astronomy
That's
out in
right.
Caird Rockwich.
Bloodgood?
Pretty stars. Yes. Bow
That
and
is
Bloodgood,
yes,
that is
Bow
correct.
and Bloodgood. Yes.
He's a nice guy. I like that
He
guy.
is.
Yeah.
Bone's a cool guy.
That's right. On Saturday, August 20th, you need to start off your morning correctly with
Wake
by
up.
tuning into Radio Free Britannia for Wake Up! New Britannia, Wolfdom, and Celine.
And this week we
And
have a special
This week,
DJs filling
special
in for
guest
Celine.
DJ.
That's right. As well as very
That's gonna be
special
Eclipse
guest
Agent.
interview. So you're going to
Yeah,
want to tune in.
it's going to be awesome
You're going to want
because
to tune in at 7 a.m. Saturday morning to check that out. Going to be cool stuff. And I'll shut up
absolutely.
for a moment.
Okay. Are you sure about that?
No.
Tape. At 11 a.m., we do have the Church of the Dark Star, where you can join the Mistress of Chaos, or I'm
That's
sorry,
religious.
Lovely
High-
mistress of
Chaos.
chaos.
Yes, High Priestess of Chaos, Amber Rain,
Don't get us started on
and
that one.
the
Go ahead.
Church of the Sun representative, Kaizen Phoenix Fire, as they do their sermons.
Cool.
At 6 p.m., we do have the Port Phoenix Social Nights. Contact Kaizen Phoenix Fire for more because they have no
Socializing
idea what
on
the
a
hell they're
Saturday
doing.
night.
What are they going to fraternize,
At-
socialize?
I have no idea.
Bound chicka
At
bow man.
7 p.m., we do have Orders Auction. That's going to be out in Clouth Keep in Brittany's Alley. Then, if you're interested in PvE, you can join the EVL Monster Mash Dungeon Crawl. Remember, this one is the Saturday edition, and that takes place. It begins on the overworld map outside of Soultown,
That's correct.
which takes us to Sunday.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday at the Fair Park Coliseum.
We do have the 8:30 a.m. early morning Pack Slayer meeting. That's going to happen in TeamSpeak. Don't forget, Pack Slayer is a little bit of everything, so you might want to join that if you're up that early. At 11 a.m. is the Hospitaller meeting, and that as well as the new player support weekly meeting, so that also takes place in TeamSpeak. At 5 o'clock, we do have the BMC Gridiron registration between 5 and 5:30, taking place in Black Rock Cove, and Zeke has done a fantastic job of putting together that arena.
That's right.
That Gridiron arena. Those fights begin promptly at 5:30, between 5:30 and 7. Don't forget, Black Rock Cove is in the Quell region, and if you get lost, you need to go to sotomap.com to find it.
Rocks.
Awesome site.
Yeah, that's right. 7 p.m. we do have the nightly or the evening edition of the Pack Slayer meeting happening in TeamSpeak between 7 and 8, followed by the final event of the week, which is Fishing with Winfield, where they find some pond somewhere to go fishing.
Somewhere. I hear a parody song coming out.
Fish?
A parody fish song. Now, I saw Winfield had a little blurb out there, something about fishing hats and waders being appropriate fishing attire, and must have for any fishermen out there. Hint, 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 hint.
Fuck is that?
Yeah.
I love Winfield. He's a trip. That dude
Winfield is
a mess.
great, man. It's only crazy people like you and Winfield can do this shit for 18 plus years. I mean, you guys are pushing the 20-year mark on this between Pack Slayer and the BMC Guild coming over from UO. And for those of you folks who don't know who are UO folks, don't
leave out the syndicate.
Don't forget about the syndicate. There's a host of others. I'm not even going to get into.
That's the grand. Yeah, well, the syndicate, and it always should be given.
I tell you
the
what.
Syndicate is the granddaddy of us all.
When I see any of those guys running around, I stop, take pause, and always do an LLTS exclamation point. Just to show the support and pride for those guys, because that's right, those guys have been out there doing it longer than anybody else.
Yeah, that's
Guinness
right.
Book of World Record holders, folks.
Sure enough.
Yep.
1997, first online guild.
So we've got history here, long history. We got people coming from, of course, the old school. We got new people just being introduced to it, and of course. We got a whole new generation of children being turned on by their parents to these original Richard Garriott games, which I think will be the existence of Shroud will be our generation's children playing. You know, people like us who have these accounts will leave these accounts to children later on. You know what I'm saying? I foresee this happening as a legacy for Richard Garriott and the team in the video gaming world that. Like Green Bay Packer tickets, they get passed down from generation to generation. I can see soda accounts being that way later on down the line. But meanwhile, we've got to move it on. We've only got a couple minutes left and a lot more to get in here for you. So let's go ahead and thank our sponsors out there, the good folks who help keep us. Yeah, the abbreviated edition. Of course, we got the newest addition to the team, Wake Up with Wolf, Tim, and Celine. Poet didn't even know it. And they're going to be on Saturday morning, 7 to 9. Thank you, guys. The BMC Guild, the Britannian Mining Company, our latest patron out there. Thank you again, Zeke. You need anything for your mining goods and all that good stuff? Check out Black Rock Cove. Black Rock Cove offering you solid prices across the board, day in and day out. If you want guaranteed pricing, check out the vendors down in Black Rock Cove. Of course, join us at the Pearl on Thursdays. You hear more about that later. Our good friends over at sodataming.wiki, sodacrafting.wiki, and sodacraft.com for all your crafting needs. I was thinking about cats. For all your taming needs.
With
sodataming.com.
Sodacraft.
That's right.
Yeah, sodataming.com. I was about to say
take the last couple there. I'm tongue-tied.
Don't forget to, if you want your official Shroud of the Avatar swag, you do need to visit our friend Ben at relicsbyreal.com and use the discount code NBNN for 10% off your order. And our final, don't forget sodamap.com, where Sodamap is truth. And our final sponsor is Shroud Marketplace for all of your virtual vendable needs, where you can go buy or sell anything Shroud of the Avatar related. And that includes our most important sponsor, that is you. Thank you for watching. Right. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for joining us in Discord.
Love you guys.
We love you guys. We couldn't do this show without you guys, and we do it for you guys. Exactly.
That's right. Without you
Thank
guys,
you, everybody.
Believing in us, watching us, telling us just to keep at it, keep doing what we're doing. This is for you guys. We are the premier news outlet here in Shroud of the Avatar. If you want the latest and greatest updates in the news with the twist like nobody else can give you, tune in to us
interpret the news
every
so you
weekday.
don't have to.
That's right. Monday through Friday at the 12 o'clock hour here in Shroud of the Avatar. That is noon Central Daylight Time, or New Britannia Time, as we like to call it. But meanwhile, we've got to wrap it up here for today. Elephant? Yeah, where is my elephant? Where's my contract? We're going to get out of here. We'll be back Monday, big day Monday. We will not have our normal shows because we'll be joining the telethon. So we will come in at our normal time on Monday, do our quick intros, say hello to everybody, and welcome them. And we will be joining the folks down at Portalarium for the telethon. 12 hours. Stay tuned for more from here. Yeah, for more from us here at NBNN News. I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
And we are.
I'm Zeke. Score.
Yeah.
All righty, guys. You all have a great weekend. Don't be grinding too much. Make sure to get your beauty rest out there, and we'll be back on Monday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Love you guys.
Clan of the Wolf was around too.
Clan of the Wolf celebrating 18
Yeah, 18 years ago.
I love this shit, I tell you. Oh, yeah.
We didn't have enough time this time.
We never have enough time.
We ran out of time. It's somebody derailed the train. I don't know who it was.
Shit.
South Park.
That was weird.
Clear.